In the world of Dead by Daylight, one name echoes louder than the rest. A symbol of incredible skill, endless dedication, and genuine positivity, Otzdarva.
Hello friends, this is Otz. Hello friends, this is Otz, according to CNN. Hello friends, this is Otz, or maybe it's all a dream. Hello friends, this is Otz, according to the IGN guide. Hello friends, this is Otz, take my word for it.
But he didn't just appear in the fog as a fully formed legend. This is the story of a 10-year grind of strategic gambles and the sheer force of will that turned a niche streamer into a gaming icon. From his very first videos to becoming the community's most trusted voice, we're uncovering the key moments in his adventure. A quick note, if you came to this video expecting a hit piece, I'm sorry to say you won't find one here. I'll admit, I am a bit biased. I've loved Otz's content for a while now. I have a respect for him that became even stronger when he made the effort to read and reply to some messages I'd sent him, asking him opinion questions about Dead by Daylight. Even with a staggering number of subscribers and an insanely busy schedule, he made time to reply to a small nobody YouTuber and help with the Dead by Daylight retrospective that almost nobody would see. It really cemented for me why I wanted to dive down the rabbit hole of who Otz is and the choices he made to become the face of a fanbase. And Otz, if by some miracle you see this, I'm making this video with all the goodwill, respect, and accuracy I can. Thank you for being the legend that you are. As always, if I've made any key mistakes, please tell me in the comments and I'll correct myself in a pinned post down below. Now without further interruptions, let's dive into the tale. This is the 10-year journey that made Otzdarva a legend.
Hello guys, this is Otzdarva, and I'm just here to show you the perks of this very underused item, and I really can't fathom why Alluring School is not more used.
Long before he was a master of the entity's realm, Alex, better known as Otzdarva, a gamer from Spain, started his content journey in a very different world, one defined by crushing difficulty and cryptic lore. His first YouTube videos, popping up around 2013, weren't all about generators and hooks, they were about bonfires and bosses. He cut his teeth on the Souls series, Dark Souls, Demon Souls, and their unforgiving cousins. These early years were his trial by fire, a quiet, methodical grind. Anyone who stumbled across his channel found a player defined by inhuman patience and a relentless drive to conquer the impossible. A great example was his quest to beat Dark Souls 2 by killing every single boss without taking a single hit.
Let me sit tight, relax, and focus. Oh my god. That fucker, I forgot about him.
Even in these early videos, his personality shined through. While the content was focused on the game, the intricate dance of dodging, parrying, and striking, you can still see much of who we love watching today. This focus on analysis, however, wasn't just forged in-game. For a time, he worked the stressful job of a 911 emergency operator, a role that demanded composure under extreme pressure, a skill that he still uses to this very day. Using his steadfast composure, he did what most people wouldn't be willing to do. He poured hundreds of hours into mapping enemy patterns and charting the safest paths, all for the singular goal of perfect gameplay. He wasn't just playing games, he was deconstructing them piece by piece until every secret was laid bare. It was in the furnace of these high-stakes challenges, both real-world and virtual, that Otzdarva forged the skills that would define his career. Deep analytical thinking, an obsessive attention to detail, and a trademark calm in the face of impossible odds. He was slowly building a small, loyal following who admired his mastery. He just didn't know that his biggest challenge, and his greatest reward, was waiting in a totally different genre.
Jesus. Oh fuck, Alta Haven. Not a great map for this. At least it kind of works good with Make Your Choice perk. I love that fucking thing, by the way.
By 2017, a new obsession was taking over the gaming world, asymmetric horror. After years dedicated to the lonely challenges of Souls games and a short, successful detour into PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Otzdarva stepped into the fog. He had started streaming on Twitch back in July 2015, but it was Dead by Daylight that would kick his growth into overdrive. He even created a second YouTube channel specifically for his Dead by Daylight content, aptly named Not Otzdarva. If you've ever wondered why his channel has not in front of it, that would be why. This would go on to transform him from a niche creator into a community pillar for the game. Unlike the predictable AI he had mastered, Dead by Daylight threw the most unpredictable enemy at him, other people. And yet the skills he'd spent years sharpening translated perfectly. His methodical approach to learning enemy patterns was now aimed at understanding survivor behavior. His encyclopedic knowledge of game mechanics found a new home in a world full of complex perks and add-ons. While many streamers were all about jump scares and rage-fueled rants, Otz's early Dead by Daylight content was different. It was educational. He didn't just play, he explained his thought process in real time. He'd calmly break down why he chose a certain perk, how a killer's power worked, or what survivors could do to counter him. This analytical style was a welcome change in a community often known for being hostile. People weren't just watching him win, they were learning how to win. This unique blend of high-level skill and a genuine passion for teaching created the foundation for his explosive growth.
Ooh, those blue eyes. Run, survivors, run.
By 2018, Otzdarva was more than just a skilled player. He had become a foundational figure in the Dead by Daylight community. His influence wasn't just on how people played, but how they talked about the game. In a space often filled with toxicity, Otzdarva promoted a lawful good mindset, actively avoiding cheap tactics and focusing on fair play and sportsmanship. His streams became a refuge for players who were tired of the negativity and wanted a place that was both educational and genuinely positive. This balanced perspective is especially clear in his debate-style discussion videos with fellow content creator True Talent. While the Dead by Daylight community is often sharply divided between killer mains and survivor mains, Otz navigates these conversations with a well-researched, unbiased approach, earning respect from both sides for his willingness to hear different viewpoints and find common ground. Part of that welcoming atmosphere came from a tiny, furry friend. For a time, his Russian dwarf hamster Holly became an unofficial mascot for the channel. Her occasional on-stream appearances to say hello or snack on a cashew were a wholesome and beloved part of the broadcast. When she sadly passed away in August 2022, the community genuinely mourned with him. It was a testament to the personal connection he had built with his audience. His content evolved to serve the community he was building. He created incredibly detailed guides on everything from basic mechanics for new players to advanced strategies for veterans. His website, Otzdarva.com, became a go-to resource, featuring constantly updated perk builds and deep dives on every killer and add-on. Perhaps nothing embodies this educational drive more than his iconic tier lists. These aren't just simple rankings, they are exhaustive documents designed to teach. For new players overwhelmed by hundreds of perks, or for returning players trying to understand the current meta, his tier lists provide an invaluable roadmap. He doesn't just rank things, he explains the why behind their position, helping players understand the game mechanics on a deeper level. And this dedication didn't go unnoticed. The game's developers, Behavior Interactive, began to recognize his influence, and his feedback on game balance and design started carrying real weight in the community. However, this relationship wasn't always perfect. There was a period where he, as a fog whisperer and advisor, grew deeply frustrated with the developers, feeling they weren't listening to the very people they had partnered with for feedback. This tension culminated in a video titled Ranting About the Recent Dev Q&A, where he stated he was done making content on upcoming patches because the input seemed to be ignored. To the community, though, he was still a vital voice in discussions about the game's meta, known for his thoughtful and nuanced takes. His influence grew so large it even spawned the Otzdarva effect, the community's term for when a strategy or build he showcases suddenly becomes popular across the entire game. Through his commitment to teaching and positivity, Otzdarva had fundamentally shaped the culture of Dead by Daylight for the better.
A Thompson House is a large map, it's kinda tricky, but... we got some things going for us.
For any competitive gamer, a win streak is a badge of honor. For Otzdarva, it became a legend-making moment. His 50 win streak series wasn't just about winning, it was a public test of his and the game's limits. And no streak defined him more than his 50 consecutive wins as the Trapper. At the time, the Trapper was considered one of the weakest killers in the game, so not much has changed. He was the face of Dead by Daylight, but his power felt inconsistent and easy to counter. So aiming for 50 wins, defined as getting 3 or 4 kills every match, was a bold, almost ridiculous challenge. He even limited himself to 3 perks, cutting out a potential 4th meta perk and trading it out for an add-on to bring an extra trap. Truly respectable insanity. His video on the streak is a masterclass in his entire philosophy. He explains his strategy with his trademark precision, how he used perks like Save the Best for Last to keep pressure on, how he used Haunted Ground to bait survivors using maps, and showing his never-ending love for corrupt intervention. The commentary showed a player who isn't just reacting, he's thinking 3 steps ahead, anticipating survivor moves and turning the killer's weaknesses into strengths. He talked about the stress, the close calls, and the immense patience it took. Just like his Dark Souls 2 no-hit challenge, this was a chance to demonstrate his skill and determination. The Trapper streak, and later streaks on other difficult killers, proved that with enough strategy, any character could become dominant. It was the ultimate proof that his educational style worked, and it elevated him from a great streamer to an undisputed legend in the community. I remember his 50 win streak videos being the first videos from Otz that came across my feed, and I can imagine it was the same for many other players.
Alex, if you had to choose between eating a whole onion or a whole garlic, what would you pick? What's easier, guys? I think I'm gonna go with garlic, so that my breath smells amazing afterwards.
Now, getting to the top is one thing, but staying there is a different beast entirely. As Otzdarva's influence grew, so did the weight of his position. Being a community's voice means weathering its storms, and his journey hasn't been without its trials. These weren't personal scandals, but the pressure that came from being tied to a single, constantly evolving game. He has been openly critical of developer decisions, like the 2024 layoffs at Behavior Interactive, showing both empathy for the employees and concern for the industry's instability.
Okay, Chandler, so the big important thing about the unknown, if it is the unknown, is that you need to look at him. Okay, look at him in chase, otherwise his power doesn't go away and he can damage you more. And if it's Trapper, then don't look at him, look at the ground. Right? That's
It's
it.
really hard on this
So
A perfect example of this was the hyped-up collaboration with Chandler Riggs, the actor who played Carl in The Walking Dead. What should have been a huge celebratory event turned into a technical disaster when DDoS attacks made the game completely unplayable. The official stream had to be shut down. Notably, Otzdarva identified what was happening and suggested a solution within the first 30 seconds, but Behavior was stubborn and refused to accept his input.
I'm so sorry, Behavior. Please don't kill the messenger. But I think it's gonna happen again.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna happen again. Just let the lovely folks that are joining us stay, and then if we're ready up, I guarantee you there's gonna be no issue, or at least I'm pretty sure.
Even when Chandler himself seemed to voice desire to try Otz's solution, Behavior said no and kicked out the spectators Otz was trying to use to circumvent the DDoS attacks. But in a move that speaks volumes about his character, Otzdarva and the other creators later played with Riggs off-stream, pulling a positive experience from the jaws of a public failure and releasing the footage for everyone to see. It's moments like these, navigating developer stumbles and community disappointments, that cements his status. He wasn't just a content creator anymore, he was a leader and a stabilizing force. He proved his loyalty wasn't just to the game, but to the people that play it. His ability to critique the game while still being respectful to its creators and his grace under pressure showed a maturity that set him apart. He had passed the ultimate test for a content creator, proving his legacy was more durable than the chaos of the online world.
Oh, he can teleport. Okay. Alright.
We kind of forgot that small detail. That's not too important. Don't even worry about it, man.
From his humble beginnings as a solitary challenge runner in the world of Dark Souls to becoming the undisputed professor of Dead by Daylight, Otzdarva's 10-year journey shows the power of dedication, education, and positivity. He didn't just master a game, he built a community around it. He turned gameplay into a classroom, proving that you can be one of the best players and one of the best teachers at the same time. His influence had touched almost every player in the community, and it's incredible to see how far his reach has gone. What was the first Otz video you ever watched that taught you something new? What's something about him that you really enjoy? Let us know in the comments below. He fundamentally changed how people see Dead by Daylight, making fair play and smart thinking more popular than toxicity and frustration. His influence is felt in every single match, from the builds people run to the strategies they use. The Otzdarva effect is a living legacy. He's more than just a legend in one game, he's a model for what a content creator can be. A master player, a patient teacher, and a true leader for the community. His journey wasn't a sprint, it was a marathon of consistency that proves a real legend is built not just on wins, or even 50 of them, but on the knowledge and positivity you share with others. Above all else, that's the lesson I hope everybody takes from Otz. Be a positive influence where you can, and you'll be surprised just how far you can go.